And I got a little breakdown for that on here, I believe. There we go. This is from DD Geopolitics on X. Lutnick swindles America again. The Supreme Court just ruled Trump's tariffs illegal. Guess who's about to make a fortune off of it? Cantor Fitzgerald. I already ran that. So here's how the scheme works. U.S. companies paid billions in tariffs that are now ruled illegal. Cantor approaches those companies and says, I'll give you 25 cents now for every dollar you're owed in refunds. Companies take the quick cash rather than wait years for the legal process. When the refunds come through, Cantor collects the full dollar. Lutnick divested from Cantor by handing it to his 20-something sons and placing his equity in a trust for those same sons. He paid zero capital gains tax on the transfer. As Commerce Secretary, Lutnick has direct visibility into the government's legal strategy, how their lawyers rate their odds, and what arguments they'll make. His family's firm is betting against the very tariffs that their boss created. Not only is he implemented in having sex with kids, abusing kids, not only does he stand next to Donald Trump all the time and he's just smiling, he's happy, but he's the one that implemented this entire thing. He is the one that convinced Donald Trump to do this shit when he knew it would be found illegal. He knew that Trump would be the one that takes the fall for it. And he still gets to just stand up there and he gets to just grin and smile along, and Trump keeps them around him. At what point, ladies and gentlemen, at what point Trump's not the stupid dude? There's no way. They definitely got him. It's pretty obvious. Or they had him from the beginning. But anyway, speaking of pedophiles, or PDF files, that's a fun one we have to do now, I guess, because they might sue us. Once again, for what? I don't have shit. What are you going to do? Take my house? That's all I got. Whatever. Let's get into some celebrities of the past and their stories. We got Justin Bieber here. It's a fun little shout out to Alex Jones, in case you didn't catch that. Well, you know what? Let's start from the top and go to the bottom. Here's Isaac Cappy exposing Jeffrey Epstein in 2018.
That's right. It's brackets and jackets. Bringing it back for brackets.
Is it actually possible to reverse cavities? Short answer is yes, but let's talk about it.
Drinking warm water before bed fixes tooth and gum problems overnight. People are healing decay and repairing damaged gums every night as they sleep by adding one unusual ingredient to a glass of warm water before bed. If you're over 30 and struggling with
Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is viciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure this shit doesn't get out.
Pay attention to all the videos in the background.
And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of
Victoria's Secret has more than Epstein issues.
Oh boy. For one, he's got a home beside me, a matrix in America.
And I would bet you anything that, oh no.
Alex Jones is one of them.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Cappy's in the portal.
Remember, he says I would bet. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. I love Alex.
Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real.
That's Tom Hanks.
about some guys.
I don't know who that fucking
A big
fag
network
is.
of guys and spies and lies and liars. Alright, think about this for a minute. Okay, the guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy
Child porn.
is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Katie. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon going to that guy for money? Also,
Yeah, how else do you get a 9-hour interview with Jeffrey Epstein?
Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also
Kevin Spacey.
Epstein is also Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew.
Epstein is also. Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys
Bill
know.
Gates.
Who else is Epstein? That's right. It's brackets and jackets.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it with Alex Jones. I mean, it could be. I don't think so. I really don't. I might have a little bit of bias there, but literally every time you see him in the Epstein files, it's them talking about how much they hate him because he's a danger to them. So I don't know. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of red paint here. There's going to be a lot of weird shit. But here's Kurt Cobain.
For years, every night there were lines of custodians, friends, and people, part of the staff who would wait in line to rape her every day. She went through a lot of shit. And it just disgusts me, to know that there are some of the people that are part of that conspiracy are living here in Seattle in their comfortable, cushy little homes with their families. It's 20, 40 years after that. And it's
Midnight Quick, he's talking about a girl named Frances Farmer.
Frances Farmer.
We're seeing now in the Epstein files happening to her somewhere in Seattle, and the people are just living in their cushy homes, and they're not going to be held accountable for their crimes.
Yeah, a little fun fact, in case you didn't know, Kurt Cobain's daughter is named Frances, probably in honor of that girl. So they all know. They all see it. But there's not really much they can do because everybody just writes you off as being fucking insane. And I don't know. I heard something on Jones tonight about why they can't do it, because you're going to ask the cops so you ask an undercover to get involved, right? So somebody goes in undercover. Guess what? They're going to have to do these inexplicable fucking things, these demonic, absolutely awful, terrible things, all to bring this guy down. And they become the problem. And they have to do things that they obviously don't want to do. So I understand why this is all hard to get out. That's why it's called an info war, an information war. That's why people like me, I'm one of a million. I wish it was 20 million. I wish it was 20 million people getting on live at least once a week and exposing this shit. Wake up your family and friends. This is the only way we do this, because the cops can't do anything about it. Unless we, the people, give them everything they need to know to drop this shit. This is why I do what I do. Anyway, here's Katie Groves, survivor of the Uncle Sam Snuff Factory.
And I am a survivor of the child snuff industry. This video is about my experience growing up in a child snuff ring known as Uncle Sam's Snuff Factory. This ring is located in Central Texas, and I will speak about it in the past tense only because I do not have current knowledge of its existence. But that does not mean I have any reason to believe that it has been shut down. My home was an underground military bases that commit mass genocide against children, film it, and sell it on the black market. To watch it is unfathomable to most people. I spent the first 17 years of my life being taken to that place on a near daily basis, sometimes held for longer periods of time, in which I was incarcerated, did not know if I would ever see daylight again.
So they're doing this on military bases. Okay, that doesn't mean that the people based there are doing it. It's just a guise that they're using to do it.
It is not unique. There are other places like it, all over the world. I have been trafficked there as well. It is one of those places where a person can get literally anything they want for the right price if they have the connections to be there. I have seen wealthy, aristocratic white women ordering children of color on menus to be delivered, fed, cooked on platters in a wing of the place they call it Cannibal's Kitchen.
Cannibal Kitchen.
The reason I survived.
That shows up in the Epstein files.
Family involved with the CIA who ran this operation. I have genetics, the family background to be a candidate for perpetration, for continuing the cycle of violence.
They pick you for your looks. They pick you for your genetics. They pick you for all of that. Let's see here. Here's Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber told hundreds of people at Bible study class that Hollywood elites killed his and Selena's baby. Since finding God last year, Bieber has become a regular at Bible. Okay, yeah. I got to get through all that stuff. Telling churchgoers that he will never go back to the evil music industry until the pedophiles and monsters at the top of the game are run out of town and everything's disinfected with bleach and sunshine, Bieber explained how Hollywood elites tried to corrupt him. They tried so hard to corrupt me, Bieber said, because I reached a level they couldn't control anymore. They tried to destroy me with alcohol, and when that didn't work, they tried with drugs, all different kinds. Then when that didn't work, they tried to destroy me with ambition. I was interested at first, Bieber acknowledged.
If you support Trump as president, you need to listen to this. We're asking America First Patriots one simple question, and this is going viral. Visit the next page, answer our one question poll, and we will send you the Trump final term gold set for completely free. All right, so this is a gift. Normally, this whole set goes for $75, but if you take the poll in the next 10 minutes, we will ship it free as appreciation. Now, the Trump final term gold set includes two stunning pieces. You are going to get the Trump second term gold coin and the Trump second term gold bar. And here's the scary part. This deal vanishes in exactly 2 hours. We are tracking responses, so anyone who takes the poll gets all of this for absolutely free. You just cover a small shipping fee. Now, Patriots are snatching these up, posting them online, showing them off everywhere. Now, do you support President Trump? Click below, take the quick poll, and claim your free Trump final term gold set before it vanishes.
Before saying, but when I realized what the price of admission is in that world, I had to quit. Selena and I were expecting. It was early days and we hadn't told anyone. At the same time, I was being courted by some really powerful people, the most powerful people in Hollywood. Describing a top secret party attended by record industry executives, Bieber said he was shown into a back room where a group of men wearing masks were sitting around the edge of the room drinking from cups. In the center of the room, a dead child was sitting cross-legged, propped up against the back of a chair. It looked like a late-stage fetus and was completely drained of blood. The baby's entire scalp wasn't there. Its skull had been stripped down to the surface of the bone. Portions of the right side of its undeveloped little face had been torn away. You could see bite marks and bruises all over its body. They were wearing animal masks, sitting around drinking what they called red wine. They offered me some. It was obvious that it was really important for them that I got involved. I literally gagged at this point. One of them boasted the baby had been alive for 8 hours after they started cutting it and draining its blood. When he described the pain the baby went through, he seemed pleased with himself. The horrific death described by Bieber to his congregation is called exsanguination, otherwise known as completely draining a person of blood. The practice is popular among drinkers of baby blood who consume what they call red wine in order to get high on the adrenaline, young hormones, and negative energy they believe is found in the blood of children. These are the people you're watching on TV. These are the people you're listening to on the radio. All these motherfuckers. My God, dude. Terry Richardson. Yeah, where's he at? Oh, that was in this one, I suppose. Come on, where are we at? Huh. Where did my Terry Richardson thing go? There we go. Terry Richardson, photographer, MK Ultra handler. Now, just pay attention, everybody you see in this video. MK Ultra programming is very real. Special people like Terry are put in place to handle these mind control victims. Obama, Lady Gaga, Jared Leto, the Olsen twins, Luciferian photographer with a long list of celebrity. Yeah, Jared Leto loves him. A pedo bear. Paris Hilton. I don't know who that is. Miley Cyrus. I don't know who that is either. I think that's Kim Kardashian. Selena Gomez. I don't know. Oh, the dude that played in Star Wars, the new Star Wars. Sky Farias. Oprah. Yeah, Terry Richardson. That's somebody you should look up. Look up Terry Richardson. Demon. Demon. So with that, let's get into this. Okay.
No, sorry. No,
you said in order.
Okay. I'll spare you there. I'll spare you with that. Because that is a fake AI video. So who the fuck would make a fake AI video like this and completely destroy all credibility for for all the real information being put out? Yeah, this motherfucker should be thrown in jail along with everybody else that is running cover on the Epstein shit. Anyway, the Maxwell in prison is not real, of course, either. She's probably hanging out with Jeff and their girlfriend in Israel. Since we're on this disgusting shit, let's do our conspiracy theory of the night. I do have a picture of Ghislaine. Yeah, I know it's Ghislaine. Okay, I do it on purpose. So is that the same person, folks? Is that the same person? I want you to look. Doesn't matter if you're fat. Look at that nose. Look at the shape of the face. Look at the wrinkles around the mouth. That is not the same person, folks. Not the same person. Anyway. I know most of you all don't give a fuck. Well, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, there is. There's plenty you can do. Let's see. Sorry, trying to make kind of changes on the fly right here. Let's see. I'll move that thing over here a little bit more. There we go. All right. Our conspiracy theory of the night, the Black Eye Club. Here's the first one, the adrenochrome Black Eye Club, supposedly. Adrenochrome Black Eye Club, how the black eyes are created. In the eyes of adrenochrome consumers, adrenochrome-related connections are collected, which lead to black eye syndrome, glaucoma, and other symptoms when overdosed. Human nature vehemently defends itself against cannibalism of all kinds, and in addition to the aforementioned causes, even more serious and striking symptoms, such as the laughable disease Quobo, among which Hillary Rockefeller Clinton suffered, which can lead everyone to blindness or death for short or long periods of time. Since the embodied Anunnaki have adapted to human genes and their few bloodlines have also continuous intercourse and never cross, either they or at least they are particularly severely affected. In addition, many of the Anunnaki have cloned themselves, which can only be recognized under falsified names, families, and stories by looking closely, which, by the way, represents a very unusual and unnatural form of infestation. It seems that after about 6,600 years of cloning and breeding, their blood has become so unclean that the black eye syndrome has become a frequent occurrence among them in recent years. Adrenochrome consumers have an increased ferritin level in the blood, which makes it a serious problem for them. In this situation, an overactive immune response can be fatal. Too much adrenochrome in the body increases the ferritin level in the
It offer huge payouts. Most players don't know this, but there's a game out there that lets you earn real cash completely free, and it goes straight to your bank account. I'm talking about the real deal. This game has some of the highest payouts compared to some of the others. Plus, you get daily free spins, bonuses, and access to massive prize pools. And the best part, you don't have to spend a penny, whether you're cashing out through Apple Pay, PayPal, or Cash App. No more waiting to see your winnings show up. You seriously need to try this game. Click the logo and check it out now. Go win.
blood and can prove to be fatal. Ferritin is a universal intracellular protein that stores iron and releases it when it is controlled. If the ferritin level is too high, there is an iron surplus, or there is an acute inflammatory reaction in which ferritin is mobilized without iron surplus. People with severe COVID.
I don't really care if you like sports.
Hey! Owen Schroyer.
But
he popped up on accident.
Today's victory was more than about sports.
I agree, brother. I agree. So the other part of this, and I'll get into a little bit of it here in a second. I'll read you a little bit more of a breakdown. But what did I forget here? Okay. The second part of this, the other big one, this is interesting. Because remember, they like to it isn't just adrenochrome. Okay, they're also eating the flesh. Okay. Remember that. So, have you heard of Vril?
Wiggles in through the eye. It does a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch. It then starts what they call sweating the quilt. The spinal cord stuff comes out of the spinal cord, and it's everything that the lizard is. The lizard's whole body is dead, and it can't go back in. It's one way. The juice that's in the spinal cord gets excreted over the tip of this thing. They're parasitic cells. The parasitic cells go into the brain. The old person's consciousness is gone. The body is absolutely totally
And they become the
dominated,
parasite.
and the lizard is smarter as a human. Over time, it'll develop a rash. It'll lose its hair.
That's fun, huh? I mean, what, do you almost just wish that it was that it was just adrenochrome? At what point, folks? Can you wake your friends and family up yet? Can you reach out to them? Can you maybe try to get this talk started? Anyway, that last one, the process, is called the Vril droning process. Is one of the most extreme and fringe branches of whatever. It's retroactively linked to a supposed secret Vril society in Nazi Germany, claiming they use this energy for advanced tech like flying saucers and mind control. Historians widely regard the Vril society as fictional or heavily mythologized. No solid evidence it existed as described. Yeah, no shit. So, according to proponents, Vril parasites are tiny, carnivorous, malevolent, intraterrestrial, underground reptilians. They have a proboscis, a long needle-like appendage on their head containing their brain, spinal cord, and organs. The droning process involves the Vril injecting or inserting this proboscis directly into a human's eye socket, usually the left eye. You know, the little thing they do? It's always the left eye. A foamy substance or a cerebrospinal fluid is released, allowing the parasite to enter the brain. The human suffers extreme pain temporarily while the original consciousness/soul is destroyed or consumed. Once complete, the human body becomes a drone or host. The original person is dead, and the Vril parasite fully controls the body, retaining the host's memories, appearance, and access, but acting with reptilian traits. You notice all those videos. Hillary Clinton spitting balls of shit into that glass of water. It's infinite. There's so many of them. The abandoned Vril body dies or is discarded. These drones allegedly infiltrate governments, Hollywood, finance, religion, and other power structures to advance a hidden reptilian Illuminati agenda of control, depopulation, or domination. This is frequently connected to the Black Eye Club. It's tied to reptilian shape-shifting theories, popularized by David Icke, but more biological, parasitic than magical. Some versions link it to ancient symbols like the Eye of Horus, said to represent the droning process, or Ankh, allegedly a tool to remove the eye first, or Ankh. Ankh? A-N-K-H, however the fuck you say it. Drones supposedly explain why many powerful people seem soulless, cold, or change behavior, personality dramatically, and it overlaps with QAnon-style ideals, which a lot of them have been proven at this point, with adrenochrome myths, cloning, which Jeffrey Epstein is talking about in his fucking emails. He's talking about cloning! And he's definitely talking about adrenochrome. So is this really that far-fetched, folks? Being run by satanic pedophiles is just scratching the surface, dude. So the Black Eye Club, this is interesting. The core idea is that these black eyes aren't from ordinary incidents. Obviously, these people aren't like normal people. They don't cook. They don't do any of that shit. They have people take care of all of it. So why would they have black eyes? But proponents point to photos of people like George W. Bush, Pope Francis, Elon Musk, Prince Philip, various Hollywood actors like Adam Sandler, Jay Leno, Sharon Stone, and many others. Many, many, many others. Some call it a initiation ritual, a violent hazing or branding ceremony to prove loyalty. No, I don't know. Soul selling or control. The eye injury supposedly represents the soul being taken, a demonic possession, or a soul scar. Yeah, I mean, if you're allowing a reptilian parasite to enter your body and you become a zombie, I'd say you're probably, your soul has been sold. Earth is Satan's playground, folks. Anyway, that's the Black Eye Club. Look into them both. Let's see, what is a Vril? So mark this down, the Vril droning process. You want to do your own research on it, the Vril droning process. Look up the Black Eye Club, look up adrenochrome side effects, and you're going to find your way into how the Black Eye Club is what it is. It might be a little bit of both. Who knows? Who knows? It's all just fun, though. It's all just fun. It's conspiracy theory, right? Yeah, we're all just having a good time here. Just having a good fucking time. Operation. I think it's in this one. Our other conspiracy theory for the night is Operation Northwoods. I'll break into it a little bit more next week, but it'll explain a lot about what we're going to get into next.
Terrorist attacks on Americans. They wanted to know the U.S. military once planned to kill American civilians to start a war. In 1962, the Pentagon created Operation Northwoods. This wasn't some crazy theory. These are real declassified documents. The Joint Chiefs of Staff wrote detailed plans to stage fake terrorist attacks on America.
This is a great place to work with great American brands.
I put 4 kids through college working here.
They wanted to shoot down passenger planes, bomb U.S. cities, sink boats full of innocent people. Then they would blame Cuba for everything. The plan was incredibly detailed. They figured out how to plant fake evidence, how to coordinate with the media.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Look at 9/11.
Their goal: convince the American public that Cuba attacked us first. This would justify going to war. President Kennedy saw these plans and said absolutely not. He rejected the whole thing. But here's what's terrifying. The military was completely willing to murder innocent Americans for their political agenda. They had logistics mapped out.
Of course they are.
They were ready to go.
Of course they are.
Operation Northwoods proves that sometimes the most unbelievable conspiracies are actually true. The documents are public. You can read them yourself. Did you know the U.S. military once planned to kill Americans?
So that will roll us into sleeper cells, Porta Vallarta, and the new AI system. So, Porta Vallarta. That's in what? There you go. This is Porta Vallarta today. These are pretty tame, but it shows what's going on here, folks. hijacking cars, shooting, open fire. Could be coming soon to a neighborhood near you, folks. So, the reason this is happening in Puerto Vallarta, the Mexican military, with help from the United States, killed a top leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, Nemesio El Mancho Oseguera Cervantes, which triggered violent retaliation. This has led to burning vehicles and roadblocks set up by criminal groups, shootouts, explosions, and smoke visible in the city. A shelter-in-place order effect for Puerto Vallarta. U.S. Embassy alert urging American citizens to shelter in place, avoid crowds, minimize movement. Similar warnings from pretty much everybody else. Many flights in and out of the Puerto Vallarta airport canceled, delayed, or diverted. And so the cartel has released these terms to the people. Stay home or face consequences. Messages urging residents to remain indoors with warnings of violence against anyone found on the streets. This has sparked panic and aligns with the broader unrest involving roadblocks, burned vehicles, and clashes. Threats to enter homes, hotels, and private properties. Alleged communications warn that CGNG operatives will force entry into residences, hotels, and businesses if their demands are not met. These threats explicitly target civilians, tourists, and infrastructure. The demands. Primary conditions mentioned in unverified leaks and social media reports are hand over the individuals responsible for El Mencho's death killing, release his body, or provide information related to it, seize further actions against the cartel. Now, I warned you that there are sleeper cells right here in the United States brought in